Hi, I'm Hidayah from 2O, register number 22. For the characterization question, I think that Dawan is a persistent girl. Dawan had won a scholarship to study in the city, and she really wanted to make full use of this chance. However, in their village, people thought that girls did not have to study and were all destined to stay at home to do housework. Dawan's role was to show that village girls should have the chance to study, and she effectively showed this when she got to go to the city in the end, because she was persistent. Dawan's dad was really against the idea of her studying in the city, and she tried seeking help from Noi to persuade her father, but she was rejected too. Noi had also believed that girls did not need to further their studies. Her mother could not do anything to help her. She then decided to go on to seek the help of a monk, and made married by bringing a lotus for the altar. And even when the head monk had said, "What can a mere schoolgirl hope to achieve anyway? Be satisfied with what?" Dawan argued back and did not give up. Another evidence is that Dawan's father had shouted at Dawan. He said, "Because you're only a girl, because there's nothing you can do, even with a fancy education, because..." Dawan retorted by asking her father to stop. Hence, we can see that Dawan is persistent, as she still tried to convince her father and people around her to let her go to the city to study, even when they thought that she shouldn't from the start. Another characteristic is that she's a strong girl. She had badly wanted to go to the city to study, but people she knew, and even her close ones, were not supportive of her decision. However, when no one was there to help her, she still stood by the belief and hope of being able to go to the city one day. Dawan really felt lonely and sad because no one was supporting her. And Dawan felt a strong need to struggle for rights, but knew that this new will and determination would count for very little, without some outside source of support. Everyone else was turning their backs against her, but she didn't give up and she stayed strong. Dawan is still young, and yet when no one was by her side, she still continued finding ways to be able to do what she wanted to do. Hence, she's a very strong girl who has a strong will and would not let any obstacles knock her down. For the relationship part, the relationship between Kwai and Dawan showed that siblings will always be siblings. They may get into a lot of conflicts with each other, but at the end of the day, they are still siblings, and they rely on each other for moral support. They still cheer each other up and encourage one another. Hence, it shows that the relationship of siblings will never change no matter how much disagreements they have with each other. The theme of this book is oppression. The situation of oppression in this case is when Dawan is oppressed by her father, as it was her father who was controlling her decision of wanting to go to the city to study. The father had said, "But what right does your sister have? She's only a girl." The peasant retorted roughly when Kwai had said it was not his right to go to the city. This shows that Dawan is oppressed by her father. Another situation is when Dawan's mom is oppressed by Dawan's dad. When Dawan had asked her mom whether she could go to the city and study, her mother sighed heavily and muttered, "It is not my place to say anything." This is because Dawan's mom is afraid of the father and did not dare to voice out her opinions. And also, Dawan's father did not listen to Dawan's arguments, and her mother, out of fear, had refused to act on Dawan's behalf. I personally like this text. This is my personal response. The book is about girls having their rights, and I think it's a very inspirational story because it shows how much Dawan went through just to pursue her dream. It is very hard for girls, especially girls, to stand by their dream when everyone else is against them. She did not give up when there was no hope at all. The message is brought across very clearly that girls in their village are expected to stay in the village their whole life. But at the same time, it shows how Dawan is challenging this stereotype. Thank you.